What is going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we're going to be bantering about my predictions for the rankings of the National League Central Division for the 2023 season. But before I get into mine, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts on who's going to win the National League Central Division in 2023. Let me know that down in the comments or find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball, and we can keep that conversation rolling. Now, let's get into my number 5. Now, the 5th team on my list is the Cincinnati Reds. I don't believe in what the Cincinnati Reds have done thus far this offseason. They just haven't done enough to me to compete with the other teams in the division. Yes, there is another rebuilding team in the Pittsburgh Pirates in this division, but to me, Cincinnati just hasn't done enough. With the way that they played in 2022 and not really having done anything in 2023 thus far, to be able to make themselves a true contender as they used to be about a decade ago at this point, there isn't enough for me to actually solidify them as anything better than the basement dwellers of the National League Central Division. Now, as we look at the number 4 team on my list, it is the aforementioned Pittsburgh Pirates. I think that when you look at what Pittsburgh has done, there's a lot to like about these little moves. It may not seem like grand gestures in terms of signing some big name stars off the free agent market, but the little moves that they have done have really, to me, benefited them in a big way. I think that with the rule changes coming to the shifts, being able to bring in some guys who are going to now benefit a little bit more from not having so many guys on the one side of the infield to kind of limit their ability and to limit their range of hitting prowess, to me, is going to solidify the Pirates as a surprise contender, in my opinion. Now, not a contender for a wild card spot, but a team that is going to finish in and around 500. I also think that with the guys that they have brought in, this is going to allow the Pirates to kind of get out to a little bit of an early lead, allow them to kind of have some of their young players come up and develop themselves, and also have trade candidates at the trading deadline. So to me, the Pirates come in at number 4. Now, number 3 on my list is the Milwaukee Brewers. I think that when you look at Milwaukee, they are a conundrum of a situation. This is a team that has some of the best starters in all of Major League Baseball, and they aren't really capitalizing offensively on what they could be with this pitching staff that they have. I think that for Milwaukee, the moves that they have made to kind of remove some of the payroll concerns, to me, are only going to stand to hinder them in their ability to compete in the National League Central Division. Now, on the strength of that starting rotation, I think that they are going to be very competitive within the division, but I don't think that offensively they're going to have truly what it takes to overcome the 2 teams ahead of them. Therefore, they come in at number 3. Now, as we get to the number 2 team on my list, it is the Chicago Cubs. I think that what the Cubs have done this offseason has been absolutely tremendous. They're truly underrated in terms of the moves that they have made this offseason. I think that bringing in a guy like Dansby Swanson that allows you to move Nico Horner over to second really puts the Cubs in one of the best defensive middle infield combinations that we will see in 2023. Being able to have 2 absolutely monstrous defenders up the middle really helps your squad. And then you add in a guy like Cody Bellinger to this team, who to me is primed for an absolutely comeback player of the year nomination. To me, the past couple of seasons that we've seen Cody with the Dodgers have been an injury-riddled season. And while he has played, I think that he's been coming back from that shoulder injury from the 2020 World Series. This is going to be a guy who absolutely has a monster season, in my opinion, for the Chicago Cubs. But when you look at the way that the entirety of the staff is compared to the team that I'm going to place ahead of them, to me, there's just a little bit missing there. I haven't figured out exactly what it is that they could be adding to this team to be able to get themselves past the Cardinals. But to me, the Cubs are going to be in a spot where they are competing for a wild card and as well as for the division in that National League Central. Therefore, the number 1 team in the National League Central Division to me is the St. Louis Cardinals. I definitely believe in a very big way about the Cardinals. When you look at what they have with Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, at the corners kind of anchoring this team. They also, to me, have one of the more underrated outfields with a guy like Tyler O'Neill, Dylan Carlson. And when you look at what they're going to be able to do, bringing in Wilson Contreras from the rival Chicago Cubs, to me, was such a big move and such a big blow to the Cubs. Yes, this was a leader in that clubhouse, but also a guy who you can count on in the middle of the order. I also think that there's going to be pressure on these Cardinals. Being able to go into this season without Yadier Molina, to me, is such a different dynamic internally. But I think that they have the leaders in that clubhouse that they need to be able to maximize the full opportunity of this team, being able to truly capitalize and head back to the postseason. So for me, the Cardinals are the class of this division, followed by the Cubs, Brewers, Pirates, and then Reds. But again, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Who wins the National League Central Division? Let me know in the comments, or find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball, where we can keep the conversation rolling. If you want to show more support for us here at the Baseball Banter Broadcast, again, you can follow us on our Twitter account, banter_baseball. You can follow us on our Instagram or TikTok pages, Baseball Banter Broadcast. You can follow us and on our website, our blog site, laracuenteledger.com, for new articles daily on the world of Major League Baseball, as well as many other things. And if you want to show even more support, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com, our merchandise shop, and you can use any one of the number of promo codes that we have on the site to save on your banter merchandise. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button, as over 95% of our audience is not actually subscribed. So if you haven't already done so, smash that subscribe button as we continue to look to grow this baseball family, this baseball community here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast. So I will catch you guys on the next broadcast.